This is the first of 8 designs that I want to show you that are based on the circle and a square. So, let's get started. I've sharpened my pencil. I've drawn a circle. I've put a dot on one side and lined that dot up with my ruler and come across and put this other dot. Now I want to get a dot here and here. So to do that, I'm going to put my metal point in here, open it to more than the center point, make an arc, then move and put my metal point here and make an arc. And where they cross, that'll be the same distance here as to here, and that will line up then this with this, and I get my point on the circumference. So far, it's nothing too new, is it? Well, it's nice to feel that we know how to do the first thing. So I'm not drawing a line, you may be noticed. All I'm doing is putting a point. So I check to be sure that that's right where they cross, and my pencil point will fit here. And I put a mark on the circumference there and down here. It's these marks that I'll join to make my square. So let me erase those arcs and start to join up these dots. This dot to here. I might as well do this one. They're both parallel. So I'll just slide my ruler over. Now I'll turn my paper and do the other two. All right. Now, I hope you'll enjoy this series of 8. Well, I find them, I almost call them optical designs. All right. Now, my ruler is going to become very important. That and my pencil sharpener to keep my point sharp. I think I'm going to put numbers here. Just here, 1, and over here, 2, just to remind me the direction I'm going to go in. You could do a 1 and a 2 there if you want to go that way. But I'm going to go and work my way around. And then work my way around again and again. So, my ruler is probably sold in Canada, where the metric system is used, and places like the United States, where inches are used. And I find to mark off an inch is way too much. Half an inch is probably a little too much. So I'll talk about the inch side here. This is half an inch. There's where it starts. And there's an inch. There's 2 inches. So this is half an inch, usually a little bit longer line. And then half of this distance is called a 1/4 of an inch, because there's 4 of them that equals the inch. Then you can get a half of that, which is called an 1/8 of an inch, because you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them out of it. So I'm going to choose 3/8 because that comes as close as any of the to being a centimeter in the, that I'm using centimeters, And so that would be starting right at this line. You'd put a dot, and then you'd count 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. Just before you get to the half-inch mark, you'd put it there. Now, you could, if you want to, start in 1. I'll pretend that's down here, in 1, and you'll go 1, 2, 3, and you'd end up at the half-inch mark, but you've started in 1/8 of an inch. You could do it that way, or if you wanted, you could put this mark and count off 1, 2, 3, and make a mark. I'm going to use the centimeter side of my ruler. It is about, as you can see here, about 2 and this is a centimeter, by the way. A centimeter, it's made up of millimeters, and there's 10 little millimeters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth one's longer, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's 10, referring to 10 millimeters, but that makes up 10 centimeters. Here's another centimeter. 10 millimeters makes up 1 centimeter. And another 10 millimeters, now that's 20 millimeters, but it's 2 centimeters. So I'm going to use this distance, 1 centimeter. I have a dot there and a dot there, a point there, pardon me, and a point here. Okay, well, let me show you how I'm going to do that then. I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to do a lot of turning of papers here. And I'm going to line up my 0 mark, which is in from the edge a bit, that point right with that point I've got up here at number 1. And I'm going to come down my line. I'm going to put a mark on the line right where 1 centimeter is. Okay, that was not hard. And I'm going to come and rotate my paper. I've got a mark on the line going down to 2, so I want to rotate it enough that I'm going to be putting this mark on the line from 2 going down to here. So I line up my 0 right where that would be. I put a mark. This is slow, but I think it's worth taking some time with understanding your options of what you could use on your ruler. So I've got a point on this line, and I'm headed down to here. So I'll rotate. I'll come out. My 0, I can really see it well, and my 10 millimeter mark, my 1 centimeter mark, I put a mark. And as you could tell, it looked precise, that design. And so just take your time. There's no stopwatch on you. And if you get tired, you can get up and get something to eat or go out, whatever, outside, and come back and pick it up where you left off. So just take your time. Now, I've got all those marked. 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter over here. Yes, I did a good job. Now, I'm going to draw from the 1 a dot on this line coming down to the dot coming from 2 over. So it's going to sort of slice in a bit. And I want to be really careful that I put it right on and get it as accurately as I can. Now, I'll just review the step on that. Put your pencil point right on your dot. Bring your ruler up to it. Come down with your ruler to this dot point. Put your pencil on it. Check that the ruler is right up against it. Go back and double check here. That's good. And then draw your line. and then rotate your paper each time. Pencil on that dot point. It's interesting how you get into habits, and not always easy to break them. And our last one. So we'll do those 4 and we'll should finish up at point number 1. All right. Yeah, oh, that's good. I hurried that one, and I can tell I just missed being right at that because I hadn't checked that. Well, live and learn, they always say. Okay, we're ready. Now, you'll notice we've got another square. You'll also probably notice, your eye will tell you that this new square is a little bit smaller. If we were to rotate it, it would be a little smaller than the first square. So the squares do get smaller as you get in. Okay? So we've done all we can on that. I'm going to put the number 1 at the top. Put my ruler on just like before. Line up that 0 line with that dot. Come down and try my best to get this dot to be on the line itself. Not on that original line, but on this new line now. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to come to number 2, rotate my paper. I've got a dot on that line. Put this here, and I'll do the same. This is the first of this sort of process in which we're measuring and marking things, but you'll get used to it, and the others will be seem easier. And we have one more to do, heading on the line that's going back up here to the side that's got the number 1. All right. Okay, let's draw our lines. I'm going to hold my paper like that so I can really see. Put my pencil on that dot. I press the dot in just a teeny bit so that there's a little tiny indentation, and that helps me a little bit too. Okay, I think I'm ready. Check down here, Larry. Good man. Ready? Here we go. Next, from this dot that I just drew to, I'm going to come to this dot. Uh-oh, I didn't check. Well, it's pretty close, but as you make, that's twice I've been a little off down there, and then things get just a little tiny bit wonky. So I need to slow down. But I know for you, just sitting there watching me do this must be, well, hardly exciting. But maybe it's exciting. We all have a different opinion of what is exciting. I think having shown you what the end product is, you might bear through the process to see the finished result. Okay, and so I've done 3 lines on each side. That's easy to check. Here's my number 1, and I'm off doing this again. So I'm going to show you one more, and then I'm going to stop and leave it to you to finish up. Okay? Because I think you see how it works. It just takes, as I say, time and patience. There's on my line. I mean, it's not like hours. It won't be like hours. It moves right along. And I didn't color mine in. I left it just as a black and white design. But some students have colored theirs in. And so you may wish to do that too. Figure some pattern out. Maybe 2 colors. Maybe, well, I don't know what you might come up with. One color and leave one white, and then one color and leave one white. Ah. Oh, I was almost... Okay, now, Larry, have you done this correctly? No, you haven't. That's why you've got to be careful here, big guy. All right. There we go. Now I'm set. On all of those lines, I've got my dots. Phew. Now I'm ready to draw it in. And I've turned my paper this time. I don't know if that was a good idea. And I felt my pencil go right into that little indentation, that little dent I made when I pushed the point there. So I knew I'd come right to it. Now this is the one I've gone a little goofy on here twice. So let's see if I can't be careful and check both places. And there's only one other thing you want to check on is when your pencil point may from time to time need to get sharpened. Here we are, coming back to number 1. Well, it's starting. It's not as dramatic as it will get in time. This is what it'll get to look like in time. Now, before I say goodbye for today, I want to show you one other thing. You know, we've been looking at patterns with shapes. But there are also patterns that happen with numbers. And I know this is about shapes, but we're going to make, after we do these 8 designs, we're going to make a shape which involves numbers a little bit. It involves a pattern in numbers. So what I'd like to do this time is show you the start of the pattern. Start of the pattern looks like this. 1. It looks just like a straight line. 1 is the first number. The second number is 1. And next time, I'm going to show you the third number in this pattern. sequence. So what I thought you might try to do is to see if you could guess what that next number is going to be. And next time, we'll just check that in, and we'll be doing our design as well. Okay? Well, have fun. See you soon.